News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
Montana Supreme Court sides with Republicans. Good morning, everyone. Montana Morning for Thursday, February 2nd, 2017. Right now, the sky is cloudy. We have 1 degree above zero. And it is chilly out there, and the roads around western Montana right now, we have intermittent snow and ice on Highway 93 south from Lost Trail to Stevensville, I-90 from Missoula to Garrison, and U.S. Highway 12 from Lolo Pass down into Lolo. Our newscast this morning, and by the way, there is a winter weather advisory until 5 o'clock this afternoon. Our newscast this morning sponsored by the Bitterroot Building Industry Association's 2017 Home and Ranch Expo coming up Friday and Saturday at the Ravalli County Fairgrounds. Our top story this morning across the state, in an order expedited by the Montana Legislature and the Montana Attorney General's Office, the Montana Supreme Court ruled yesterday that the term of Jonathan Modell, the State Commissioner of Political Practices, ended as of January 1st. Speaker of the House, Austin Knudsen, explained the lawsuit that ended up at the Supreme Court.
A couple of groups filed suit claiming that the current Commissioner of Political Practices was not subject to a term limit ending this year, but that he actually was subject to a 6-year term.
Knudsen said the Supreme Court sided with Republicans that Modell's term had already expired.
The Montana Supreme Court took this on an expedited docket, and they agreed with us. So they ruled that the current Commissioner of Political Practices, that his term has expired, that the Senate has to appoint a new Commissioner of Political Practices, which was our position the entire time.
In a statement on the Political Practices website, Modell said he accepts the court's decision and will remain until a replacement can be named. A Billings area man accused of robbing a credit union of about $7,000 in cash at gunpoint has a previous robbery conviction. The Billings Gazette reports 47-year-old David Reeks appeared in court yesterday, a day after he was arrested for allegedly robbing the Valley Federal Credit Union. He's also suspected of robbing the Little Horn State Bank on January 10th. The newspaper reports that in January of 2006, Reeks was sentenced to 15 years in prison, stemming from the robbery of a nickel ante casino in Billings with a pellet gun. Booking documents don't indicate if he hired an attorney. Police Lieutenant Mark Cady said bills were found scattered inside Reeks' car after Tuesday's robbery. The Veterans Administration is canceling a special town hall presentation that was supposed to take place at the Missoula Public Library this week. VA Public Information Officer Mike Garcia said many veterans were planning on traveling from different places around the state.
With the weather the way it is and the unpredictability of it, we decided to make an early weather call late yesterday afternoon, Tuesday afternoon, to ensure widest public dissemination of the cancellation, to make sure that someone didn't end up on the roads for an event that was canceled. We are going to make every effort to reschedule this event in Missoula in the coming months as the weather and the VA director's schedule allows.
Garcia said the event will be open to anyone who wants to have questions about VA services or simply wants to learn more. When President Trump announced Tuesday night that Neil Gorsuch was his choice to replace the late Antonin Scalia on the U.S. Supreme Court, former UM law professor Rob Natelson was very familiar with the name. He recalled how Gorsuch, in his capacity on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 10th Circuit, referenced Natelson's own writings.
I had earlier done an article dealing with exactly the section of the Constitution that the plaintiffs said that the Colorado Constitution allegedly violated. And my article had found that there was no conflict at all. The article, by the way, was written and published while I was on the faculty at the University of Montana.
Natelson said having legal scholars cite his work is always gratifying.
I had earlier been cited by several Supreme Court justices, including Justice Thomas and the person who Judge Gorsuch has nominated to replace Justice Scalia. Justice Scalia had cited my work the previous year. And then the following year, or actually in 2015, Chief Justice Roberts followed up with a citation as well.
Montana Senator Steve Daines weighed in on the Gorsuch nomination.
Neil Gorsuch has an established record as a mainstream judge who upholds the rule of law and doesn't legislate from the bench. I know that Judge Gorsuch will interpret the rule of law in accordance to the original intent of our founding document, the Constitution. Judge Gorsuch is seeking confirmation to the highest court in our country, and I look forward to speaking with him to hear how he will faithfully defend our Constitution.
Pundits say Gorsuch will face stiff opposition from Democrats in the U.S. Senate. Helena officials are considering whether to demolish the city's iconic fire tower, a structure dating back to the 19th century that was damaged by an arson fire in August. The Independent Record reports officials want to replace the tower, which has been deemed a safety concern. Parts of the tower are from 1874, around the time the original structure was destroyed by fire. Only the tower's 4 legs were original, and one of them was damaged by last year's arson. No one has yet been charged with the crime. An engineering analysis determined demolishing and rebuilding the structure would cost about $165,000. The demolition process does require a public comment period, something we're all familiar with in Missoula. When you're looking for someone to help you train for a community road race, you turn to a former Olympian, 10,000-meter runner, and a coach to over 1 million runners and walkers, namely Jeff Galloway of Atlanta, Georgia. Galloway says the basis of his successful program is a concept called Run, Walk, Run, now underway in Missoula.
We break it down into doable amounts. We have a program method called Run, Walk, Run, and we have a Galloway program right there in Missoula. So we're able, in the first few runs, by using a 1 mile to sort folks into homogeneous pace groups.
Galloway said the Run, Walk, Run method allows runners to believe they can finish the race without becoming exhausted.
People do best on the longer ones by just staying with that doable short amount of running followed by walking, because it keeps erasing the fatigue, and they always believe that they can run for 10 or 15 or 30 seconds at a time because they've got the walk break right afterwards.
Galloway said his method is particularly effective in the longer races.
So the training then proceeds to get you ready for a half marathon by starting with whatever you are doing now, walking, and increasing by just a mile every other week. And you will gradually build up to the 14-mile distance 2 weeks before the half itself.
Galloway said there's a cost to join a training group, and Run Wild Missoula's website says the total cost of the 19-week half marathon class is about $81. The program begins February 26th. Follow the link on our website at newstalkkgvo.com. Our News Talk time now is 6:12.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Partly to mostly sunny skies today with our high temperatures in the mid-teens. An isolated flurry will be possible through the afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear and cold with our lows dropping below 0. A chance of snow Friday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster, KECI 13.